Hi guys, and welcome back to Phat Pack Magic, where we have an awesome Vintage Cube gameplay video here for you. But the first thing I want to talk about is the altars. I have a few altars in this cube, and they are done by this amazing artist called Scourge Alters. This guy has done some amazing work for me, and I'm using the term amazing because it's the only appropriate term for this kind of artwork. Right now, he is doing revised dual lands with the Magic the Gathering online art atop of them. We have also altered part of the borders so they look more like the modern frames, and have increased the art size to fully encompass the card. And here's the crazy thing, that's not all he can do. He has an extended catalog of different styles, different procedures. He can do full extensions, he can do art box replacements. This guy does it all, and honestly, the one thing that really sold it to me, and like every time I look at it, I am blown out of the water, and it is this full art Days. He took Days from the Invocation and he made it look like the Magic the Gathering player rewards promos. That was the selling point. That was the point where I was like, you know what, I'm gonna trust this guy with a $600 card. I'm gonna trust this guy with a $500 card. I'm gonna trust this guy with the Mox. Yeah, you heard me right. This guy is going to be doing Mox altars. Real 110% Mox altars. And I am so excited to show you guys this when it comes out. It's coming out soon. So check out our Instagram and check out our Facebook page, because that's gonna be where you're gonna see this. I had him do the art in advance to the Mox, mainly because I'm terrified of having a Mox altered. It scares me. You know, it terrifies me, as it should. We decided to have the art done beforehand and make sure that the art was entirely correct. There were a few modifications, there were a few adjustments, but it's worth it. It's 110% worth it. So I trust this guy. I'm not just shilling for this guy because, you know, whatever reason, but because I trust this guy and I love the stuff that he puts out for me, and it is definitely worth it, and he should have so much more exposure than he does now. Like, Wizards should be contacting this guy to get art done for their cards. Like, this guy's amazing. Anyways, back to the game. So they're shuffling up now, and I think one thing I want to discuss is Adam's game plan going forwards. In game one, he saw the recurring nightmare, but it didn't do anything. However, the entire time, he knew the power of what Chris Wong was going for. Lingering Souls with Recurring Nightmare creates a terrifying situation where Adam has to not only deal with that bomb recurring not just once, not just twice, but a possible 4 times of having to deal with the same card with Recurring Nightmare just sacking the 1/1 creature tokens. So you could see in his gameplay how he was very careful not to let Chris Wong get any kind of incremental creature advantage, and when he saw Chris Wong discard the Swamp to his Liliana activation, he knew that he could go in for the kill. Now what he doesn't know is that Chris did not draft any nuclear bombs for his deck. In pack 2, Adam saw the Elish Norn and the Kokosho. The Elish Norn we know did not wheel because it went to another player, and the Kokosho did wheel, but it did not get back to Adam for a 3rd pass. So in Adam's mind, he could be thinking, oh crap, I could be facing down Kokosho and Elish Norn. So they've drawn their opening hands, and they both look okay. Nothing too aggressive, nothing too explosive. Adam's got a decent hand. He drew a Pyromancer, but it doesn't look like it's going to do much of anything with the lack of spells that he's got to offer. Chris plays a Scavenging Ooze, which is basically a 2/2 bear, and then passes the turn. And Adam is looking at his go to jail, looking to play it down maybe? Yeah, I guess that's his play for the turn. What is it that wise to use it on a Scavenging Ooze with no targets though? But it seems like he's just more interested in playing it than playing it effectively. Chris takes a look at it and basically Monopoly rules. You roll doubles or it just stays in jail. So Chris says, okay, I'm playing Monopoly today, and untaps, rolls, no doubles. And that card is particularly painful because unlike Swords to Plowshares or Path to Exile, it gives you hope of getting that whatever was exiled back, and it's painful to not have it happen throughout the entirety of the game. But he plays Lingering Souls, which could prove to be the bane of Adam's existence. I mean, those tiny 2/1/1s can get really big, and spending a card to deal with half of a card because he can flash it back for 1 black and 1 is never a fun game to play. But he decides to pump out that little young Pyromancer, and Thing is, I would have done that last turn. I think it would have been smarter to conserve your mana, maybe trade the Scavenging Ooze, because he doesn't have any instants or sorceries, but it looks like he's just going to let it go and hope to fetch the end of the turn, maybe draw something to get some value. But those Lingering Soul Spirits are not proving to be much of a clock here at the moment. I mean, yeah, they're coming in for 2 a turn. Chris could flash it back, but the Sorin definitely looks like it could be a problem. Remember that Sorin has that amazing emblem, which will suddenly turn his entire little weenie team into consecutively bigger +1/+0 creatures every time he activates the emblem, and he can do it twice at current. So Chris decides to pass it back, no Ataxies on here, and Adam draws a Shelldock Isle. Not too exciting. Maybe, maybe Chandra this turn? No, he decides he's gonna go for the Shelldock, and the Shelldock is going to whiff-ish. I mean, it hits 1 card, and it tucks a bunch of lands underneath. But aside from that, it's not really gonna do much this turn. Let's see what Adam's gonna follow it up with. I kind of like that Reflector Mage. I mean, there's not really much to do this turn. So he could bounce a flying token, but still that doesn't feel good to do on a Reflector Mage. He decides he's gonna fetch, so he's definitely gonna play something. I don't think he would fetch and tap on his turn. And he opts for Steam Vents. Alright, Steam Vents. Gonna take 2, and I suppose he's gonna play Reflector Mage. The question is, what is he gonna bounce with it? Yep, that Steam Vents comes into play untapped. Reflector Mage, bounce, shoot a token, and he has dealt with 1/4 of a card. Chris Wong says, are these doubles? No. I will have to get, like, I'm thinking about getting Vegas style dice, that way whenever they roll it's actually a lot more easier to see on the screen. But back to the match. Chris Wong has a definite advantage here, and he's going to regicide that 2/1 token maker, and he's just gonna pump out more tokens, and I do see a Recurring Nightmare in hand. Fortunately, he has nothing to recur. Could flash back those tokens. Is he gonna just play defense? Yeah, it looks like he's gonna flash back that Recurring Nightmare. Get more dudes. He is assembling the army. Because next turn, that Sorin is going to take that measly 5 power that he has on the board and double it. I want you to take this power and double it! For those of you who saw Crank Yankers. Man, that was such a good show. But Adam has drawn into lands. Lots and lots of lands. It doesn't look like he's had a meaningful draw outside of the Young Pyromancer. He's gonna lift Chandra. Oof! Well, trading Monastery Mentor for a 2 to the face shock does not feel great. Oh man. So he passes it back to Chris, but he's gonna make the emblem. He's gonna go on the offensive here, and that board suddenly looks a lot more scary. And Adam says, you know what, there's nothing I can do right now. I can't outpace your emblem. Nope. Scoop. Yeah, that was a harsh one. I don't think there was much that he could do. His deck is a lot more low to the ground, more 1-for-1 trading with a small incremental advantage. And because Adam had no answer to the Sorin, he was just able to run away with those Lingering Souls tokens. Another Sorin pump, and that would have been 15 power on the board, and Adam's just like, nope, nothing I can do about that. GG. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching. Please check out the next video. We've got more gameplay to come. But real quick, at 100 subscribers, I'm going to be giving away a signature spellbook Jace edition. It's just a small way to say thank you for all the support that you've been giving me, and I really do appreciate it. So until next time, may all your packs be fat.